Well, the Christmas season can be difficult for many people. You know, there's often people driving under the influence of alcohol and drugs this time of year. But historically, interestingly enough, reports of depression, suicide, and psychiatric care actually goes down. It's after Christmas passes when reports of treatment of these are very significant, and actually these experiences surge. So we're going to look at 6 helpful tips of addressing the depression that's going on after Christmas. And joining us to talk about this important topic is Andrew Blackwood. Andrew is a registered psychotherapist. He's a life coach, family counselor, and an author. Andrew, good to have you back on the program.
Glad to be here.
Okay, we're going to dive right into it. Number one, why is it important to be proactive when it comes to issues of mental health?
It is absolutely important to be proactive because when we wait, we can get caught off guard. So if this is your not first, but second or third year round and you know your mood tends to dip, it's good to kind of address that. Maybe October, November, we want to be ready and into a routine so that our mood is going to have a better chance of not dipping as much.
So you're not surprised by it at that time?
Exactly.
Okay, understanding your body. Why is that important?
Well, when we think about depression, we often think there's this thing called depression and it's just depression. But when we start to peel it apart, look at the layers, there are many factors that can contribute to depression. So thinking about your body, none of us are getting any younger.
Unfortunately, right? Yes, I know.
So it's important to think about how your body is changing. What will you benefit from adjusting in your schedule? Sometimes it's, you know what, I need a half hour more sleep, or you know what, at this time of the day, this is more appropriate for me to be doing this sort of thing. So your energy is better and we don't deplete ourselves as much. Things like eating well, exercising, you know, the typical things that people say. Your body influences a lot how you feel. It's not just a reactive kind of situation one way. Depression doesn't just make your body feel this way. It can go both ways. So your body can impact your degree of depression.
And I know as I've gotten older, I just need more downtime.
Right.
And if I'm not paying attention to that, all of a sudden I feel flustered and starting to get frustrated. Important, isn't it?
Right, right. Even something as simple as breathing. Having a moment to breathe.
Yeah, I've actually been doing that more often. I mean, we get into this kind of pressure environment sometimes. Just breathing through the nose, relaxing and centering ourselves.
Right. Moving from one thing to the next. Sometimes we benefit a whole lot by just taking a moment.
Okay, if you're keeping track at home, number 3, be good to our soul. How do we do that, Andrew?
Soul. So when I think of soul, I think about your emotions and your relationships. A lot of the times around this time of year, we are going to see people that we haven't seen in a while. Sometimes it's difficult to kind of connect with them personality-wise. So it's important to line things up, again, being proactive. See people that you want to see, right? If you want time for yourself, do that, right? Having those kinds of things, understanding your emotions and what kind of moves you in which direction.
That's important, and seeing the people that build you up. There's couples that my wife and I love to go to see because we just feel encouraged. There's others, sometimes it can be a little more draining, so we have to be careful.
Exactly. You can be intentional. Like, this is going to be typically is draining, so let's shorten that time. Let's truncate that a little bit.
Okay, knowing your thoughts.
Yes.
Journaling. Why do we need to write it down?
Greg, this is my salvation. I'll tell you.
Okay.
My journaling is a prayer to God, and I really go through a process where it's effective. So I think about what I'm thinking about what I'm thinking about. I'm aware about how my thoughts are influencing my emotions. So if I tell myself a certain thing or if I imagine a certain thing, it's going to influence my mood, and that's key. So knowing how you think, do you have certain thought patterns? Are you engaging in the what ifs? Those kinds of things. So being aware of that is important.
Oh, the what ifs. That's one of my struggles. Okay, number 5 is build up your spirit. And how do we not lose focus of actually why we're here?
That is so important. And again, all these points that we're talking about, they connect with each other. We do want to build up our spirits all year round, but particularly around this time of year. Depression has the ability to move us away from what is most important. What has God called you to do? How has He called you to be in relationships with other people? Is He calling you to forgive? Is He calling you to reconcile? What is it that He wants to do in your life to bring about peace? Depression will rob us of that, whether it's memorizing scripture or spending time with Him in communion. Those are the kinds of things we really want to pay attention to it.
So we've had these 5 now, and it's kind of summed up in number 6.
Number 6.
Make it a lifestyle.
Yes, yes, yes. So it's not a seasonal project. These are things we get to engage in, day out. The reality is we can't do everything all of the time. But if we are intentional about incorporating these aspects of our lives and paying attention to these all year round, then this routine is going to become habit, and then it's going to become a lifestyle.
Well, we appreciate your insight here, and as you're watching the program, I didn't get all 6. Well, you can go to 100huntley.com. You can watch the interview again, and maybe many times, because it's very important that we do develop these patterns and stay healthy. And again, you talk about intentional, being proactive. These are so important. And you know, if you're struggling today with depression, maybe you're just feeling, you know, the season has got you down, we have amazing people on the other side of our prayer line. 1-866-273-4444. Or if you maybe don't feel comfortable calling in, you can email us at prayer@crossroads.ca. Andrew Blackwood, Merry Christmas. Great seeing you, man.
Greg. Good to see
and
you
always
too.
appreciate you. Let's head over to Cheryl now.